To be a winner you must want to win but must know of the chance of losing and must not fear of it. Be a mirror, absorb everything around you and still remain the same. It's not enough that you believe what you see. You must also understand what you see. Experience is a truer guide than the words of others. The greatest deception men suffer is from their own opinions. There are three classes of people: those who see when they are shown, those who do not see. Life is pretty simple. You do some stuff. Most fails. Some works. You do more of what works. Whatever you do in life, if you want to be creative and intelligent and develop your brain, you must do everything with the awareness that everything, in some way, connects to everything else. Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. Learning is the only thing the mind never exhausts, never fears, and never regrets. The wisest and noblest teacher is nature itself. The greatest geniuses sometimes accomplish more when they work less. The most beautiful words of love are told in silence for a look. If you are alone, you belong entirely to yourself. Fix your course on a star and you'll navigate any storm. Learning is the only thing that never disappoints us. Everything comes from everything, and everything is made out of everything, and everything returns into everything. I am not poor. Poor are those who desire many things. I have been impressed with the urgency of doing. Knowing is not enough, we must apply. Being willing is not enough, we must do. Nothing strengthens authority so much as silence. Average human looks without seeing, listens without hearing, touches without feeling, eats without tasting, moves without physical awareness, inhales without awareness of odor or fragrance, and talks without thinking. Beauty perishes in life, but is immortal in art. Make your work to be in keeping with your purpose. Your brain is much better than you think, just use it. Not to punish evil is equivalent to authorizing it. People reveal themselves completely only when they are thrown out of the customary conditions of their life. I awoke only to see that the rest of the world is still asleep. Once you have tasted the taste of sky, you will forever look up. If you find from your own experience that something is a fact and it contradicts what some authority has written down, then you must abandon the authority and base your reasoning on your own findings. Love shows itself more in adversity than in prosperity, as light does, which shines most where the place is darkest. A clever man without wisdom is like a beautiful flower without fragrance. It had long since come to my attention that people of accomplishment rarely sat back and let things happen to them. They went out and happened to things. There is nothing which deceives us as much as our own judgment. Patience serves as a protection against wrongs as clothes do against cold. Painting is poetry that is seen rather than felt, and poetry is painting that is felt rather than seen. You don't get into trouble because of the things you don't know. It is the things you don't know that really get you into a mess. Details make perfection, and perfection is not a detail. Study without desire spoils the memory, and it retains nothing that it takes in. You must grow in patience when you meet with great wrongs, and they will then be powerless to vex your mind. Nature is the source of all true knowledge. She has her own logic, her own laws. She has no effect without cause nor invention without necessity. Iron rusts from disuse, water loses its purity from stagnation, even so does inaction sap the vigor of the mind. As you cannot do what you want what you can do. The noblest pleasure is the joy of understanding. As a well-spent day brings happy sleep, so life well used brings happy death. My body will not be a tomb for other creatures. I love those who can smile in trouble, who can gather strength from distress, and grow brave by reflection. 'Tis the business of little minds to shrink, but they whose heart is firm, and whose conscience approves their conduct, will pursue their principles unto death. All our knowledge has its origins in our perceptions. Obstacles cannot bend me. Every obstacle yields to effort. Where there is shouting, there is no true knowledge. All thoughts start from emotions. He who wishes to be rich in a day will be hanged in a year. Motion is created by the destruction of balance. A diamond is just a lump of coal that stuck to its job. Time stays long enough for anyone who will use it. I'm not contented to capture the world. I want to change it. Life without love is no life at all. Threats alone are the weapons of the threatened man. There is no higher or lower knowledge, but one only, flowing out of experimentation. Most men are of not more use in their lives but as machines for turning food into shot. It is ill to praise, and worse to blame, the thing which you do not understand. Practice should always be based upon a sound knowledge of theory. Every obstacle is destroyed through rigor. Being willing is not enough. We must do. I have from an early age abjured the use of meat, and the time will come when men such as I will look upon the murder of animals as they now look upon the murder of men. To discover the soul living in somebody's body, we watch the surrounding of the body, and if it's messy and disordered, so is the soul. He who does not oppose evil, commands it to be done. Patience serves as a protection against wrongs as clothes do against cold. For if you put on more clothes as the cold increases, it will have no power to hurt you. So in like manner you must grow in patience when you meet with great wrongs, and they will then be powerless to vex your mind. Marriage is like putting your hand into a bag of snakes in the hope of pulling out an eel. Reprove your friend in secret and praise him openly. Principles for the development of a complete mind. Study the science of art. Study the art of science. Develop your senses, especially learn how to see. Realize that everything connects to everything else. It's easier to resist at the beginning than at the end. Virtue is our true wealth and the true reward of its possessor. It cannot be lost, it never deserts us until life leaves us. Man's external form, marvelously constructed, is not much as compared with the divine soul that dwells inside that structure. Realize that everything connects to everything else. He who never puts his trust in any man will never be deceived.